Oh. Well, we're off to a good start, aren't we? Alright. Let's see if this battery lasts, huh? Yeah. Let me see. What are we going to review? Well, actually, first off, hi everyone. This is the 4th of July Anti-Spectacular Part 2 or 4, if you want to read my fingers like that. Now you might be noticing a difference in the camera and the quality, and the fact that I will not be able to focus on anything. And that is because my phone was taken by my mom. Now you might be wondering, well, how are you filming this? Well, when there's a will, there's a way. Sort of. I have a rather old digital camera that I'm, of course, using right now. So, yeah. Obviously, it's going to be very low quality. But I can't really do anything about it. So I may as well move on. I've had to refilm this because the last attempt that I made at this was disastrous. You might be wondering, well, what are you reviewing? This. I am reviewing Revenge of the Fallen Stratosphere. Now, these are probably the wrong way up, and you'll see why they're flipped down like that in a little bit. Let me see here. This is the box. You know, I don't save too many boxes, mostly because they take up a lot of space. But this one I decided to, because this is one of the most expensive figures I've bought. Actually, the most expensive so far, about $70 over at the New York Comic Con, which is more or less about as much as it costs getting it shipped anyway. At least to have it complete. The only unfortunate thing was that the con was, it was at the end of the con, things were closing up, and I didn't have much time to decide whether or not I wanted to buy this. So the guy, obviously, he wouldn't let me, like, super handle the box and, look around at it, but I noticed that once I got home, $60. So he marked it up 10 and made a killing. But oh well. Nothing I can do about it now. Now, you might not recognize this guy from the film, or you might. He was apparently an Autobot at the very beginning of the Revenge of the Fallen movie. That one scene where Prime jumps out of a plane. Where, speaking of Optimus Prime falling out of a plane, here he is. He's so tiny. Yeah. So this guy, he really wasn't necessary. Like, the gimmick, the figure, none of this. And the craziest part is the fact that he transforms. You know? The smallest primes we've gotten were, so far I feel like the Legends class, that Legion class RAD one, the world's smallest version, the smallest transforming version. But this guy beats them all by a long shot. I will get down to his transformation in a little bit. But yeah, you can just pack in, probably a micro machine as well. You could just shove that in there, flip this thing up, and then... So yeah, you can reenact that iconic scene that everyone totally remembers from the movie at the very beginning when he falls out of a nondescript airplane. But oh well. He's got a bit of landing gear. There's like a little itty bitty tab there. You can stick your nail underneath. And this bit flips up. So you can see all the wheels. But namely only 2. That does kind of enable him to roll. It's not very comfortable though, because all of these are plastic and it's just sliding around. But oh well. Pardon, at least they tried, I guess. I quite like this, actually. I like this sort of combination of, like, you know, regular airplane with, like, a big thing, and, you know, clearly Autobot. You know, obviously, no normal plane is going to have orange duck bills for the turbines. Wah. By the way, nice silver is there as well. And yeah, little translucent cockpit bits and bobs. And I like the logo. The logo, or the insignia. It's like a nice combination of Air Force and Autobot. That is really cool. If you know, if anyone ever gets to decorate their plane with an Autobot insignia, I want them to decorate it with this. That would be cool. Autobot symbols there. And you can even see that, which you likely can't. It says CGRD 677. And I believe the 77 was the name, or part of the name, of the actual plane model that this is based off of, loosely. So yeah, that's quite nice. Now you might notice that there's this hole up top. It's not missing anything, this figure. This is I believe, a remold of another existing figure about this size that is meant to come with a shuttle that turns into a gun, I believe. This guy doesn't have any weapons of any sort, really. But oh well. So, may as well get down to the transformation of this guy. I believe... See, these are meant to clip in a little more securely. They're meant to stay a little flush, but I'm sure I've got something wrong. Now, we kind of have to loosen this up. Just kind of don't get any ideas, but you have to, like, tighten these bits, and then just... You're going to have to pull it all... It all unfolds on this hinge. So, we just... There we go. It's going... There we go. So we've got all that. Could just... Whoa. This guy's a little long. Oh well, fold these bits back. We may as well fold out the arms. These are very clearly the arms. There's no getting around that, really. Let me see. You're meant to sort of detach these bits, but last time I tried this, it was really fighting me. And, you know, mind you, I really don't want to break anything on this figure. Obviously these are the legs, and these canoe bits become the feet. But these like to fight me quite a bit. It's all meant to tab in really securely, which is a good thing. But trying to transform it to robot mode it's kind of a pain, actually. The transformation, it's simple, but actually getting everything to do the things that it should is a pain, frankly. There we go. See, and in general, it doesn't exactly help that a lot of joints are stiff on this figure, especially the ones on the legs. I'm meant to move these down. There we go. And basically what we do now is just sort of angle these. I think, who else had legs like these? Well, Starscream for one thing, but also Mindwipe. His action figure version, at least, from the same line. In general, Revenge of the Fallen had a lot of uncanny sorts of designs, but honestly, that's kind of what I appreciate the line for. You know, it's not like it always worked, but at the very least, you tried something different and new and unusual, and I can appreciate you for that. I'm willing to shell out $70 for a figure like this. And for something as unnecessary as this and that gimmick, I mean, really, that's crazy. Of course, if you want something at least a little more professional, I highly recommend that you watch Thew Adams' video on this. This is already splitting up, but you may as well pull these bits out. Something cool that I might have liked would be, well, they probably wouldn't have been able to fit it in, but something like a spring-loaded thing, like an automorph. I don't know, that might have been cool. But anyway, you can press all this, and then this hole is meant to fit onto that tab right there. Actually, we may as well... Sorry, I can't do any sort of dramatic head reveal because I gotta push this in. If I don't do it now, it's not really gonna work out. There we go. Oh, I forgot. You have to fold out the arms all the way. There we go. Then you fit this in. Pull this up a little. And that's him, pretty much. let me try and, well, he is back heavy, admittedly. The whole gimmick part and the wings and stuff, all of that is just backpack, which I find a little unfortunate. So yeah, there he is in all his glory. So he is, let me think, he's a little bit taller than Mindwipe as far as I can remember. So he's kind of like slightly taller than average for a Voyager, but that's only because of his legs, really. If it weren't for those, really, he'd be rather short. Same thing, the wings also give him a bit of added height that he wouldn't have otherwise. This bit is all sort of squat. But I may as well go into, see, I can't focus, which is unfortunate. But he does have a lot of really nice details, especially in the chest. I really quite like sort of everything here. You know, the wings admittedly look pretty cool like this. You know, you could pretend that these are, I don't know, missiles or something. And, yeah, I don't know, in general, he does look kind of cool. And the legs, I feel like, are the only thing I don't quite like about this. They just feel so stiff and flimsy, and especially the thighs. I don't know if anyone else complained about this, but the thighs are very stiff. I can't even really move them. I've been able to move them, actually, the last time I attempted this video, but, well, yeah, see, hear that? It sounds like it's cracking, doesn't it? That's just the joint moving. I swear. It's not my bones, I swear. But yeah, I don't. I'm gonna have to put in either WD-40 or a bit of dish soap or something like that. Some sort of lubricant. Not that kind of lubricant. But articulation. Yep. The head can swivel, but it cannot do a full 360, just due to the size and shape of his head. I want to say that there's light piping, but it's not terribly good, fortunately. In the upcoming video, you'll see what a good light piping gimmick is. But oh well. This slightly moves on this hinge, but it doesn't really make a difference. The arms would do a full 360. Well, they can. I mean, if you do it this way and manipulate around the wings. Yeah, good. They go really high up. You can become a cheerleader. There is a bicep swivel. There's a double jointed elbow, but it doesn't give him a complete bend. Not like he exactly needs one, but oh well. Something interesting to note is the Mech Alive feature. I really wish you'd be able to see that. But you can see the little gears working inside the bicep, inside the forearm, all that sort of thing. Ah, man, stuff like that. I know it's not necessary to do, really, but stuff like automorph, at least little tiny bits like this, and like, say, the way that Transformers Prime's Hotshot or Bumblebee transform, the automorph thing in the chest, that's always really cool. And if it's not too much trouble to fit in, then, you know, absolutely, keep it in. I just realized I have this the wrong way. There we go. Let me see. The hand itself is on in and out. Sort of, a hinge? But sadly it can't swivel. It's too bad. But oh well. The fingers don't really move out, but they can move in a good deal. And the thumb itself can move out quite a bit. And again, you know, you would expect him to have a weapon based on this sort of regular static pose of the hand, but sadly he does not. But that's okay. I would show you the thigh swivel, but it's very tight. Well, actually, it's decent on this, but be very careful. Using all these, like, 3 hinges, see, not just a double hinge, a triple hinge, here, here, and about here near the ankle. You can do quite a bit, actually. You can actually, this actually technically gives him foot articulation. Quite a bit up, quite a bit down. He can kick. He can do a bunch of different things. It's quite good, actually. So the thinness and the, not brittleness, but the thinness of the legs is somewhat made up for by the fact that he can do quite a bit. So yeah, he's, again, really not bad. I want to, it's like part of me wants to complain, but part of me kind of can't. That's just, I don't know, it's one of the fascinating things about feats of engineering like this in general, and that's why I paid the price, you know? I don't know, I can't say no to this guy. Oh man. But now moving on to Prime himself. Now, once again, this was something they didn't need to do. Yes, they could have had a regular stock static little truck figure to employ the gimmick, but they really didn't have to have him transform. That reminds me of the Stomp and Chomp Grimlock, I think, from Age of Extinction. See, he has a little Optimus Prime figure to, I think, enact like one little bit in the movie where he's like sitting down on the dude and he's like, roll out. They showed in all the commercials and stuff. But he doesn't transform. He's just a stock static figure in just a little pose. But this transforms. This broke the record for the smallest transforming Optimus Prime just for a gimmick. We may as well show how he transforms. There's a hinge right here where you move this down. It's not really stiff. It's slightly stiff. There's an extra little bit of plastic, if you can see, near my index finger. Pardon. You put your nail, and then you move this out. These become the feet. Kind of similar to the G1. You move these bits out. There we go. Then you put in your finger here and swing out the head. And there you go. There's little Optimus Prime. I wish you could see him a little more properly, but that's how it is. Something about him, I think it might be just this whole cab section, but this reminds me of, I think, Energon Optimus Prime. What are they? Fatimus Prime? I think that's what they called him. Where it's just like a big chunk and you can't really thin it out or anything like that. But again, you really didn't need to do this, and you broke the record. So I gotta respect that. There isn't much for articulation. You can obviously move this back, move this down if you'd like. Make him look up, I suppose. You can move the arms a bit forward, not really back, and move them out. But there isn't much. So yeah. Oh, I may as well compare this to... Let me think. I guess a lot of you guys have Beachcomber, right? So he only goes up to about his waist. Could you imagine? He's maybe well, like over an inch tall, but still really not tall at all. So yeah, there was Stratosphere, and there was Optimus Prime. I'll see you guys in the next video, huh? Victory.